Hey guys, Chris here. It's a beautiful, beautiful sunny fall day here in Oslo, and a beautiful day to join the Audi E-Tron exclusive Norwegian press reveal. I actually got an invite to it. Really cool, and I'm really excited to show you guys this car. I don't know how many people will be here, what access I will have to the car, and I'm a bit out of breath because I've just been walking up many stairs, but I'm here in Oslo, here outside of what is supposedly the main Audi dealer here in Norway, the only Norwegian RS dealer. So hopefully I'll get to show you guys the car more in detail. Stay tuned. So here we have it, guys, the brand new Audi E-Tron, Audi's first all-electric vehicle in this beautiful blue color called Antigua Blue. And fortunately now it's calmed down a bit. There has been a lot of people here, so I can finally film this car. So start off with the front end. You have Audi, I do apologize. Audi's, newest grille design, which is very similar to what you get on, the Q8, the A7, and the A6, also the new A1, and then here in the new Audi E-Tron. As you can see, it's mostly closed off here because, well, this is an electric car. You don't need a radiator. You have this satin chrome bumper or surrounding here of the grille with the E-Tron badging there. You have the same color in the lower fascia here. There you have the cameras for, all the driver aids, and then you have air ducts here, which look like to be air coolers for the brakes, but also, channel air around the wheels. You have these 4 slots here in the lights, which is quite of a theme here, representing the 4 rings of the Audi badging. These are these beautiful DRLs. These are, of course, matrix LED lights. And then over to the side, you have these 21-inch 5-spoke wheels. And then you can see here also those slots are also here in the wheels. The 4 slots in the wheels, the same slots you have in the front lights. And I think these wheels look, well, they look awesome. These beautiful 5-spoke blade wheels. And actually it looks like there are quite a bit of rubber here. Let's see if we can see the sizing of the tires. These are 265 45 21s. So for 45 profile on, well, 265 tires is, well, that is nice. And then you have the E-Tron badging here. I think you have the charge port on the opposite side. And then we'll do the interior afterwards. Let's see if we just close the door here and just get this car in wide shot. So size-wise, this car is about 4.9 meters. So it slots right in between the Q5 and the Q8, actually closer to the Q8. And you can see the windshield, rakes a bit more than you find on the Q5. So this is actually closer to the Q8 in both size and also the design language. Over to the rear lights. These are really cool. And you can see the LED bar over the whole width of the trunk there. And again, I do really like this color called Antigua Blue. E-Tron badging here, and then you have the 55 Quattro. So this is Audi's newest naming scheme. This has 408 horsepower. This Audi from 2 electric motors, one on the front axle and then one on the rear axle. You can also see this really cool detailing here on the lower part of the door, though looking like chrome. That is actually plastic. And then you have this black plastic cladding on the lower parts of the bumpers and also around the wheel fenders on the lower parts of the doors. Let's see if we can take a step inside. Before we go inside, we don't have an exterior mirror. We actually have a camera here. This is an option. Let's see if we can open up that, and there you actually have the screen. So if I close the door there, you can see what that looks like. Well, might be some sort of a gimmick, but actually I think this is the first production car in history to have, a camera and a screen instead of an actual wind mirror. This will of course deflect, or will have much less wind resistance than you can have with a normal mirror. So let's just adjust the seat here. And this is very familiar. You have Audi's, 12.1 inch digital gauge cluster, and there you have their new MMI touch response. I actually have a whole separate video on this up there in the right corner in the Audi Q8, because this is the same as you find in the Q8, the A7, and also the A6. You have the 4-spoke steering wheel here, which also was first revealed in the brand new Audi A8, of really high quality, very soft leather. I love these glossy buttons, though not the best for fingerprints. They look and feel really nice, and in typical Audi fashion, they are really nice and clicky. And you have this real metal trim here on the spoke, so a really high quality steering wheel, though the airbag cover is in soft touch plastics and not in leather. I don't know if you can option that, but you can do that in the bigger Audis. The top of the dashboard is faux leather, or some type of synthetic leather. I don't think that's real leather, but it feels very nice, and it has a stitch there. On top of the doors you have soft touch plastics. You don't have the same type of leather. And then down here, this is really nice. So just open up the door so you guys can see. You have Alcantara inserts here, and then you have this bit of satin chrome running across the length of the door with ambient lighting. And then you have more of that Alcantara finishing here, and then you have more of that leather, or that faux leather, on the armrest, which is stitched. And then you have Audi's beautiful, they're galvanized, they're chrome or satin chrome buttons here, which look really nice, of really high quality. And then this has the Bang & Olufsen premium sound system, which gives you this speaker grill here. And then you have soft touch plastics here in the lower part of the door. Very high quality, typical Audi. They haven't skimped out on, the qualities of the materials of here in the cabin. Here you have the driver's seat settings, 1 and 2 memory settings, and you also have the central locking switches there. And again, well, that feels of really high quality, very solid. The grab handle there, and then more of that screen. Over to the center console. So since you don't have a transmission, and you don't actually have anything going through the center of the car, you have this really deep storage bin here. Is this supposed to be open and exposed like that? Well, it looks like, yeah, it looks like that. And then you have this crazy and massive gear selector. Yeah, that's how that works. So this is just sat in place. You can't move this, but the gear selector you can move back and forth like that. That is just very cool. And then the button stack down here looks like the same in other new Audis, along with the screens. And then here, this aluminum trim here is very similar to what you get in the Audi A6. The design language is very similar, though in a much smaller scale. But this is really cool. So you have your 2 large cup holders down here, and then you have more storage down there. Though this is of hard touch plastics. A bit disappointing, but this is leather. So the only place they have actually, cheapened on the materials is here. I wish they would have done that a bit different, because this is something, you touch and you are exposed to day in and day out. But the seats, though, have this beautiful stitched pattern. And then you also have this beautiful soft leather. Let's check out the glove box. And since you actually don't have an engine out front, this is huge. This is one of the largest glove boxes I've seen in recent memory. So that is quite welcome and awesome. So guys, so you have the E-Tron. I don't know if the camera's picking up that. You have lighting under the doors with E-Tron badging. That's quite cool. First edition. And then you have this massive glass sunroof. And let's see if we can check out the rear seat, what that looks like. Walking around. Still, this is very public. And that's what that looks like. So it looks to be quite wide, quite large. Same, high quality materials on the rear doors. I do really like this, where they have this piece in between here, this satin chrome finishing with the Alcantara here in the inserts. And then let's take a step inside, see what that looks like. Oh, another detail I just noticed now is the ambient lighting around the seat belt buckles. That is quite cool actually, guys. So since you don't have a transmission here, or you know, anything going from the front or the rear to the car, you actually have a flat floor, and this seat bench, well, is actually quite long. I've complained about, well, not Audis actually. Audis usually have a really nice rear seat bench. Leg room is plenty here. I'm not the tallest guy, but this seat is sat all the way back. I'm about 5'7", and yeah, I have plenty of room. So more of that beautiful leather on the seat back here. And also this portion here is of soft touch plastics, and the Audi A4 that is actually hard touch. So again, really high quality materials. And then you have more of that netting here. Pocket for the rear seats, map pockets, and then you have 3 and 4 is labeled there, so that must be USB port 3 and 4. You have 1 and 2 in the front, and you also have a 12-volt power outlet. I guess this is a rear seat climate control, but since there's no ignition, the car isn't on. This is probably, well, you have nothing there. Then you have the rear armrest, looks like this, and here you have actually padded with felt. And then you have some cup holders here. Well, that's a really nice armrest. So lastly, let's check out the trunk, guys. What that looks like. And as you can see here, guys, this has a power lift gate. That's what that looks like. Let's see if we can get access here. Just open this up here. So the trunk is quite large, and I think the battery pack sits underneath there. Let's open up and see what that looks like. Well, actually, the battery pack might actually be in the floor of the car, because here well, that is quite deep. And initial thoughts is that this trunk is quite high, but when you open up here, that is quite deep, guys. That is very, very impressive, and well, it almost looks to be the same size as in the Audi Q8, and that is very impressive. So an electric tailgate, that's what that looks like. Yeah, so overall, just taking a step backwards, seeing the car in full view in this color and with these 21-inch wheels, I think this car just looks rather spectacular, and those concept car-ish wing mirrors look really cool. And also, you know, the new DRL design of Audi, well, that looks awesome. So that was it, guys, the first look at the new Audi E-Tron. A bit rushed, a bit, you know, weird filming around a lot of people. I'm not very used to that, so I hope I was able to show you guys most of the stuff, but it wasn't too easy because, you know, there were people in the car. But still, I hope I gave you guys a real raw view of the new Audi E-Tron. So if you like this video, please drop me a thumbs up down below, and for more car content, as always, guys, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye.